Hello everyone, for Channel 6 TV Community Focus, I'm Dennis George, and today we're at the Citizens National Bank in Lebanon. I'm joined to my right by Jim Reed, to my left Sheila Lanham, and welcome to both of you.
Thanks for having us.
And Jim, I guess as you have done to me year after year, you've outdressed me again.
It doesn't take, it's in normal years, I've used to see you wearing a Coors Light shirt or something of that nature, so it doesn't take a lot of effort to do
well, you've done it again with the bow tie look and everything like that. But we're here today to talk about an event that the bank has been involved with for a number of years at St. Baldrick's. Many of you may be somewhat aware of it, and you see a lot of ball heads running through town after this event is held. You'll kind of know why and the reason behind it all, and kind of where the event came about. And Sheila, first of all, tell us about St. Baldrick's, the event itself, and where it emanated from, and the like, if you would. You all said it started in a bar.
Started in a bar in, where was it, Jim?
It was in Manhattan.
In Manhattan.
Yeah.
And they wanted to get 17 Chevys and raise $17,000, and they ended up with 19 Chevys and $104,000. So that's basically how St. Baldrick's got started.
And then I think we were talking, it kind of got started around St. Patrick's Day as well. So it seems to me, as someone who was in industry, that you had a bunch of guys, went to a bar, probably drinking too much Guinness on St. Patrick's Day and on a dare, and that's where all this came about. The funding for it, Sheila, the money goes for childhood cancer?
It goes for research for childhood cancer.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask Jim a little more difficult question. Is that
Thank
okay?
you.
We'll throw him the hard ball. St. Jude's and what they raise money for, and St. Baldrick's, similar, or kind of talk about the two of those?
Well, I think that St. Baldrick's is more focused on raising money for cancer research, and they do that in a lot of different ways, but primarily that's their focus. And the reason they do this is because nationally and even globally speaking, for that matter, most of your money that is raised for cancers and or supported by, whether the government supports cancer research or whatever the case might be, very little goes to, surprisingly, to battle cancers that focus purely on children. And so St. Baldrick's fortunately saw that that gap in research for kids battling cancer, and so this has helped to fill that void. St. Jude's probably a little more of a variety of issues with respect to
the children and
for children in general, whereas St. Baldrick's primarily focuses on cancer.
Okay, how did the Citizens National Bank get involved in this and bring this to Marion County? And I'll throw this open to either one of you.
Well,
obviously he's going to take it. Okay.
I'll take that because we've been very fortunate. Sheila has handled a lot of our coordination of our St. Baldrick's efforts in most recent years. When we first started this, I was actually on a business trip in Memphis, Tennessee. So this was before we were getting ready to get on the plane, and I just happened to be thumbing through a magazine, and I saw something about this St. Baldrick's event. So I thought, that's interesting. At that point in time, I had plenty of hair. I'd always toyed with the idea of shaving my head. So it was kind of like, okay, well, what is this? So at that time, our marketing person here at the bank was Eric Daugherty. And so I just threw that out to Eric. I said, Eric, that might be something that the bank could coordinate or bring back to Marion County or Central Kentucky as an event that we could do. This was in about March of that year, and I didn't think it was impossible for us, in my view, to do it that year. It's about the first week of March or something like that, and well, Eric thought it was a great idea. In fact, Eric thought that we could do it that year, and so we did do it that year. We brought it to Marion County, much through the kind of the coordination and hard work at that time by Eric Daugherty. And so from there, it's just been, the rest is history. I mean, the community, like Marion County typically does on whatever the event may be, whether it be Good Samaritans, which has been phenomenally received by the community, whether it be the cancer event that they have, Relay for Life, that they have each year. I mean, just name it. And so the community really embraced St. Baldrick's.
All right, Sheila, I assume they trust you with the money more so than others here. Ballpark figure over, what year did you say it started?
It started back in, I believe it was about, when was it, Sheila? Oh, 7-ish?
This would be our 10th year.
Our first year was 2007.
How much, just all ballpark figure, how much money you've raised?
We've raised about $234,000, and we've had roughly 800 shavees.
Okay. Shavees. Now let's get to the fun part of it for most people. It seems like when you go to the event or you see what goes on, they range from the young to the old, men and women. What brings the people out, Sheila, in your opinion?
It's everyone, I think, feels it in their hearts. It's something that they feel like that it's something good for them to do. It makes them feel better about shaving because they know what the cause is about.
And a lot of these people know someone who's been through it, and I guess that's kind of their sacrifice, their contribution.
Their way of giving back, yes.
All right. You're a female, and we notice year after year, women shave their heads. As traumatic as it is when someone stricken with cancer loses their hair, but it says a lot to me when an able-bodied, healthy person says, "I'm with you," and a woman goes in and has her head shaved. That has to be very heartwarming for people as well.
Yes.
Talk about some of the women who've come and what you think about when you see them do that.
We've had several women in the past come and shave their heads. As a matter of fact, we have one of our own here that shaved hers, Gwen Mattingly. A couple years back, she shaved her head. We've had Stevie Lowry shaved her head back 3 years ago. So it's a very heartfelt, warm feeling to see women in particular give up their hair.
All right, Jim, do you all recruit people, or is it to have their head shaved, or is the program now to a point that people know it's coming and others who are involved or who have loved ones who've gone through it, set up teams? Talk about that for a minute.
I think that, with the program with St. Baldrick's, this will be our 10th year, so it's pretty well known, and people have come to expect the St. Baldrick's in the springtime of each year here in central Kentucky and Marion County. I think with most people, and I'll tell this to people all the time, cancer does not discriminate. And so regardless of the age or the gender, it just doesn't. And so I think the biggest thing why people get together and why so many people are receptive to sacrifice their hair for this is because in most cases I would say that it has affected somebody personally. They've had somebody in their family, and in 10 years since we've been doing this, the tragic thing about it is that you see somebody that's been there and then you hear later that they passed away from cancer. And then you see them up there, and I can think about the many times where we've seen someone up there getting their head shaved, and a lot of times it's a female participant that's doing it, and you can just see the tears start flowing, and it's not just from that person, it's from their whole family. So really, St. Baldrick's, to me, their mission, their goals, what they do, what they raise money for, what they give to, it sells itself, and we're all in it for the same reason, and that is to battle this disease that is so terrible. Okay,
and obviously there's a core group of people who are aware of it, and they know to maybe how to get in touch with you guys. What if someone has moved into the community, or what if someone perhaps watches what we're doing here and says, I would like to do that? what's the process that they go through? And I'll throw that, I'm going to give you that one. That's an easy one, okay?
They can call me here at the bank. My direct number is 692-5323, and we can get you set up. Our St. Baldrick's event will be April the 16th at St. A from 1 to 3, and we can set you up either before that day or that day.
All right, they call in, and I guess as part of the process of raising money, you guys suggest that they get sponsors who will contribute. Is that how the money itself is raised? Jim, I'll let you.
Well, I mean, there's so many different ways. We've seen groups throughout the years have teams, and they'll through a team effort. In fact, that's what we do here at the bank. We've called ourselves the CMB Baldies, and as a group wide, we will raise money. But we've seen so many groups over the years, so that's certainly one way that you could do that. You could do simple things. I mean, another one of our people that's really been behind St. Baldrick's for many years has been Tom Roby. And Tom has really created his own extension of St. Baldrick's that he has down in the Loretto community. And so they've done some really creative ways to raise money for their cause. You know, it's as simple as we've seen little kids that have signed up, and they've just been saving their money through different ways. So there's just so many ways. You know, what they recommend is that you do at least a $50. Try to raise at least $50. You get a real nice T-shirt every year that's given away. So really, you know, and it doesn't take a lot of money. Before you know it, you've saved up $50. But we're not going to turn anybody away for that matter too. There's been many people who maybe all they were able to give is $10, or maybe not even that. But they even in those situations, they understand what the real purpose of this is.
Now, I know back when you had hair that you called and said, "Hey, go to this website and I could contribute in your name," or what have you. Do you want to touch base and maybe give people a website that they can go to if that's still available?
Yeah, it is.
And explain how they would do that.
I mean, that's another easy way to sign up. You can go to stbaldricks.org, and then you could do a search for our local event, which is the other thing is for this being the 10th year straight, we've been very fortunate to partner with St. Augustine Grade School, and they've been our central location to be able to host the event. And so we're very appreciative of that. But you would do a search for Lebanon, Kentucky, and it would pull up the St. Augustine event. You would be able to register right online. And
to register, I mean, is that people who want to give, or is that people who want to have their head shaved?
You could do either. You could go to the website. If you know someone that is participating in the event this year, then you can look up their name and be able to go right online and donate money. Many people have done that for years.
So if someone wanted to give, of course, the way your hair is these days, I don't know why anybody would want to pay you to have it shaved other than make a nice donation. But they would say Jim Reed and $50 and put it under, you could put it under someone else's name if they're having their head shaved.
That's correct. And you can do that either you can get the recognition or not. You can do it anonymously. You can make a donation to St. Baldrick's in honor of whoever your choice is. You're dying to say something to me here, I can tell.
No, not yet. That may come a little bit later. And I guess, but you have participants being shaved. Obviously, there's also a group in the community who volunteer their time, and those are the I want to get this right, barbers, beauticians, stylists, or whatever. I guess a lot of them give their time to come up.
Yes, they
Sheila,
do.
Talk about some of those who, I'm sure you've had some who come almost every year.
Yes, we've the girls down at Buck and Doe, I think they've been involved every year.
Yeah.
We've had the barbers at BKS, they've came. Kim's Hairlines.
We've also had Polly Miller and Eileen Hughes, who have been
at Buck and Doe. Oh, yes, at Hair Zone.
Have been very, very.
Yes, they have.
Just and again, maybe there's been some barbers who have not been able to come each and every year, but you've had some that just that have been, and we couldn't do it without them.
That's right.
Part of the deal with St. Baldrick's is, as much as somebody like you, Dennis, would love to shave my head, you're not qualified, and so we've got to have somebody that is a licensed hair professional to be able to come at it. And they've they've been an unbelievable partner through the years.
Yes, they have.
Okay. Are there other things that you do that day to raise money, silent auction, other things that you sell, or is it primarily just the cutting of the hair?
Well, the big thing that we do here at the bank to raise money is we have our annual Cattlemen's. We partner with Cattlemen's and have our annual cookout. This year it's April the 1st. That's on a Friday, April the 1st. And everybody knows how good the Cattlemen's are. So we'll have that whole thing from roughly just shy of 11 o'clock till we sell out on April 1st. So that's a big fundraiser. We've done a lot of different things throughout the years. I mean, we've had karaoke contests. We've had, name it, we've done it. The one consistent thing has been our cookout. The pretty neat thing that we're doing this year, this being the 10th year, and this will be kind of the final year that the bank will be coordinating this local St. Baldrick's effort, and so we're hoping someone else in the community will pick that up. But the cool thing that we're doing for the 10th anniversary this year, as I mentioned earlier, each year every person gets a St. Baldrick's t-shirt. And so we've had a couple of absolutely gorgeous quilts made out of those t-shirts. And so we're taking chances on those t-shirts, raffle chances, that anybody can come in the bank and purchase. You'll be able to purchase those the day of the event. And then we're probably going to do a silent auction on another one of these quilts.
Now, is that the quilt that you and Sean were trying to put up one day in the front of the bank and kind of struggled with it?
That was the very same quilt.
Okay, now is it put up now where people can come in and see it, and they can come in and buy chances on it?
They absolutely can. We have one downstairs in our walk-up facility, another that's in our main lobby, and they can come in. Martha Potter was really, she made this quilt. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it costs a lot more to make these two quilts. I mean, we basically gave her just enough money to get her replenish her supplies, and that's it. And so we're so fortunate because it's gorgeous. They're gorgeous quilts, and we've already, in fact, got a standing bid on one of them. We're going to do is a silent auction. We've already got a standing bid on that, and so we're excited about that. But yeah, you can come in the bank and be able to see those. Do
you ever have people come to you and say, if so-and-so will shave their head, we'll give you X number of dollars, kind of as a dare? Well, then obviously you have to get that person to agree to it. But
I mean, we've had a lot of people that have been kind of like dared. For example, Sheila mentioned Stevie, and I think that started out as kind of a will you do this kind of deal. If we raise so much money, would you do it? And we've had others who I'm sure in there's similar scenarios. Probably the biggest one that we've had folks kind of dare and not really have a willing participant have been the likes of, say, George Spraggins with Farmers Bank, who has some gorgeous hair. George has been has not. I think his standing statement has been when Pete Thompson, our president, would shave his head, then he would. Now to date, Pete's been a very supportive of our bank's efforts of St. Baldrick's, but he's not gone to the. I'm not sure what it would take if we said, here's X dollars if Pete will do it. But again, you've got a lot of those situations. There's a lot. I can think about a lot of people in this community who have at least once had their head shaved for St. Baldrick's. But there's a lot of gorgeous, and I say that in all masculinity, a lot of hair running around in this community that with this being our 10th year, I would love to see some dares put out there, some challenges put out there for the likes of those people.
So George and Pete have been great from the sidelines, but they've never wanted to get into the game. Is that kind of what you're saying?
It's something like that.
Okay. Back now, I guess I will get into dig. I do remember years ago when we were on the sideline coaching together that we told our basketball team that if we win the district tournament, you can shave our heads. And to the best of my knowledge, only one of the two coaches agreed to do that. And for those watching, it is not the gentleman in the coat and tie. And I did have more hair then at the time, but I did get mine shaved. Of course, the players, as you would imagine, really had a good time coming in with the razor blades and the electric things and just going to work on their coaches. You might have let them touch your beard or something, but I will have to say that you did.
Well, let me just say that, and that so that people will know that I am a man of my word. We didn't put a time frame on that, and so in 2007, I was a man of my word and had my head shaved. Now, if any of those kids had have been there that day of the event, I would have been very happy to have let them had the razor or the barber shears to shear my head.
And I would say both of us would have been luckier. I was, and you would have been, if they didn't take that blade and kind of dig in there a little bit deeper. I know you guys set a goal every year, both for the number of shavees and the amount of money. What's the goal, Sheila?
The goal is 20,000.
Okay, how many shavees are you looking for?
We really haven't set a goal on the shavees. Last year we had 44. I would like to see 50.
Yeah.
All right, and again, the date, Jim?
April 16th, and it's St. Augustine Gymnasium from 1 to 3. You can get it in there. We're up there as early as 11:30, getting things set up. Feel free to come earlier just to kind of ask questions, get signed up, register, and all those things. It's just a lot of fun. This year, once again, we're going to have Jeremy, Breakfast Boy Bowman, as our MC. He does a great job of really getting everybody into it, and so we're excited to have him back. But it's just a fun event. If you've not been, even if you don't want to come up there and get your head shaved, maybe it's a deal where you're saying, I just don't know if I can do that, but I'd like to help in some capacity. We have so many people that are not necessarily bank employees that help throughout the course of the St. Baldricks, and so we're very grateful for that. But just come by. It's a fun event. It's our 10th event. And so this is, if you've kind of like thought about it, do I want to do it? Do I want to do it? I mean, I hope next year there's going to be another St. Baldrick's event here locally. This will be our final bank coordinated event, so we would love to have just St. A's gymnasium just absolutely packed full of people that want to help battle childhood cancer.
Okay, so again, if you would like to be a shavee, or if you would like to contribute, you can contact Sheila here at the bank. She's much more trustworthy with the money than Jim. You can go to stbaldricks.org, look under Lebanon, Kentucky. You can sign up to be a shavee, or you can contribute. And again, on April 1st, this is no fooling around. The cattlemen will be here cooking. You can contribute. That's an easy way to do it. It's not like you're just giving money and not getting anything in return. You get a good meal, but the money goes to a good cause. And again, Sheila, I think you said over $200,000 has been raised in the community, and congratulations to you guys. I mean, that's a big endeavor to put something like this on, and Citizens Bank should be congratulated as well. So I pass that on to both of you as well.
And I'm sure, Dennis, that you would be a willing shavee if you had some hair. You would be a perfect candidate, but unfortunately that's been taken care of. But you can. I'll
let nature take its course that time. That's exactly right. So, and Gary as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And let me just say this, that's another important part. The media have really been just phenomenal, and I know that Gary has been very, very important to our endeavors and getting the word out. He had a staff member that was very, very big time behind St. Baldrick's, and I'll never forget last year when I was talking to her. She was talking about how every year how much she enjoyed coming to St. Baldrick's, and unfortunately she's not going to be with us this year. But again, the media and what they've done to promote St. Baldrick's, really can't put a price tag on that.
Well, we appreciate your all's time. I'm sure Pete will appreciate you guys going back to work as well today. And again, you can contribute, you can be a shavee, you can give money, call the bank, ask for Sheila, go to stbaldricks.org, donate, do whatever you can for such a wonderful cause. For Channel 6 TV Community Focus, I'm Dennis George.